my shadow. One more time. This guy said, I saw my shadow, right? And I saw my shadow was telling me, wow, you're so beautiful, so nice. And he said, I spoke to myself and I said, you Rasha. One day you'll become worms. And now you're showing off so much. You're talking too much about yourself. One day you'll be worms. And what are you thinking too much about yourself? במי שעתיד להיות למוות עוליה, היה לו לומר, איך אתה מתגאה בשערי? So, the guy, when he spoke to the shadow, he could have said, hello, why are you showing off so much with my hair? אם אני יכול, להסירו ולגלחו. He could have said to his shadow, if I want, I could just cut it off, make myself bald. ולמה אמר במשהו עתיד להיות אחר מיתה? Why did he say after 120 you'll become worms? That's already after the death. Say something now. Why he didn't say, you know what, I'll go home, I'll cut my hair, finished, I'm not beautiful anymore? Because Gemara says 90% of a person's beauty is on his hair. So he said, if I'm beautiful, my shadow tells me you're a beautiful guy, I'll go home and I'll give a haircut to myself. That's all. I'm not beautiful anymore. But he says, no. He says, you're going to be worms after 120. Why such a statement? What, everything in life now you're going to compare to death? Come on, that's not nice. That's not right. ואף שלכאורה יש לומר שעשה כן כדי להזכיר לו יום המיתה, כדגרסינם בברכה דף ה' עמוד א'. Because maybe he compares to what it says in Gemara Brachot. Gemara says, if your Yetzer Hara comes to you, right? Remember? You have to say Shema Israel. If no, learn Torah. If no, remember the day of death, right? So this is what he did right away. This is what he did right away. He remembered the day of death right away. So could be this way he did it. Because over there Gemara says, if you did all those stuff and it helps you, good. If not, then remember the day of death. Still difficult. Why did he made double language? Why are you making gava in the world that doesn't belong to you? And he said, what further? He said, and also that you will become worms after 120. So that is the double language, and this is the question. Why he made double language? And why he didn't say simply, I'll go home and I'll take haircut? Why did he say, why did he say, statement that has to do after death? Now, I want to go with you a little bit deeper. And Zera Shimshon quotes here Zohar. It says like this. V'yesh lomar, de'ita bezohar, Parashat Vayeshev, dekad Yetzer hara chomi lebarnash, mitaken beresha, misasel besare, ochid be. Anytime when Satan, Yetzer hara, sees a person is too busy with his hairstyle, hair, this, that, and he makes nice curls and this, that, nice, I say, taltalim, strings of the curls here, there. Satan starts screaming. Yetzirah started laughing at him. He said, ha, ha, ha. This guy? This is mine now. This guy belongs to me, says Yetzer Hara. Achid Bey is making fun of him. He's happy now. Va'omar didihu. And he, Yetzer Hara, says, this guy is mine. I swallowed him. Anyone makes weird haircut that looks like a goy, and he makes all these curls with a bunny here, bunny there, right? Long, like tails, this, that. Yetzirah starts screaming, laughing, and saying, this guy belongs to me. Shimon HaTzadik רוצה לומר כך, and Shimon HaTzadik wants to say like this, אם נזרת עצמך בשביל יצר הרע, if you made yourself Nazir, that you should be forbidden to get haircut, and you should be forbidden, means haircut, long hair is also ugly, right? And you should be forbidden from wine, and from impairing yourself to dead people. אם נזרת עצמך בשביל יצר הרע, למה סלסלת בשעריך? If you made yourself Nazir, why did you make your hair curl? כדי שיתגרה בך יצר הרע? Why you made curls? Just your יצר הרע should be having גאווה to you. That should stand up with you. עד שהוכרחת להשחית שעריך, זה שעשיתו כל כך נאה בסלסוליך. Why are you making your hair so beautiful curls? So Yetzirah should start out with you, and then you get haircut. That doesn't make sense. Then you're not good Nazir then. Why did you make Nazir yourself? Just for you to be beautiful. Yetzirah starts up with you, and then you take your curl away. That's why you became Nazir? Is that real Nazirut? Who heshiv lo? He said to him, no. No, Rabbi, you got it wrong. Yeah, I didn't mean that. He said, I was a shepherd to my father in my city. And that is his answer. I was not a man of a fashion. I was a shepherd. I was a nobody. Just I was beautiful by nature. So why he asked him, why you made curls in your head? The lo kafat yitzro alav ala silsul. Dehu haya kvar nasui. Ve'en lo od hirhul ara averot. This guy was not a kid. He was a married guy. And he doesn't care about averot anymore, because once you're married, you're protected. Your wife saves you from sin. So he said, I don't care to make my hair beautiful. It's by nature like this. I didn't do that so girls should look at me and I go sin, then I'm going to stop myself from sin and I became Nazir. No, that's not the case. I'm a married person. Just I'm beautiful by nature. Ditnan be Kiddushin, as long in Gemara, in Mishnah, Gemara Kiddushin, Perek Dalet, Mishnah Dalet, Perek Dalet, chapter 4, Mishnah 14, Rabbi Yehuda Omer. Rabbi Yehuda says, Lo yil'e ravak bema. Gemara says over there, Mishnah says, a person who is a single should not be shepherd. He should not be with animals. Why? Because since he's not married, maybe Yetzirah will be crazy, making him crazy. Maybe he's going to sin with animals. Even though, text me one more time, I'm sorry, I didn't see. Somebody texted something, I didn't see it, I'm sorry. Okay, we'll get back to that. Even though of course, even if person married, they shouldn't be doing hair like that. But Gemara says, when person is married, he's more protected. For example, I'll give you an example. Gemara says a person should not eat hot stuff before going to sleep. Stuff that warm the body, heavy meat, heavy shashlik, okay, other hot stuff, because he might come to see semen when he sleeps. Or he should not sleep on his back, he should not sleep on his stomach, because it might come to Zera Levatala. But if he's married, garlic, thank you, Mr. Arthur Pinchas. See, thank you, you guys care about me, thank you. But if He's married, he's allowed to sleep on his stomach, he's allowed to sleep on his back, he's allowed to eat garlic, he's allowed to eat meat, all this heavy stuff, chicken, fat meat. I mean, today, listen, guys, you don't want to play with this. It's a how they call cholesterol. It's cholesterol. It's not healthy to eat heavy stuff and going to sleep. You have to at least walk a little bit and sleep at least 4 hours after you eat. Don't eat nothing heavy 3-4 hours before you go to sleep. It's not healthy. It's not heavy. It's not healthy. It's not even healthy for heart. Sometimes heart cannot handle it. So, but if person is married, Torah says you're allowed to eat heavy stuff a little bit before you sleep. Why? Because you're married, and we're not worried that you're going to sleep. So why Chachamim said if you a single, you still are allowed to watch, be shepherd for the animals? Why? The answer is very simple. Because all this desire for animals, Jewish nation, the world had before Shavuot, before we got the Torah on Har Sinai. Gemara says as soon as they got the Torah on Har Sinai, Paska Zohamatan. Gemara says their tum'ah stopped. Actually, this was these days. Tum'ah stopped. Some say from first siman, some say from seventh siman, from sixth siman. Okay, but as soon as they stood by Har Sinai, the tum'ah of desire for the animals went away. Oh, where did it begin? It began by Chava, when Chava lived with the snake. Chava lived with the snake. She had desires for the animals, and whoever lived after her had desires for the animals, and had to work for it. And now, since Klal Israel stood by Har Sinai, their desire went away, but Goyim did not go away. A Jew cannot give his animal to a Goy to be shepherd. Why? Because Goy will go and sleep with the animal of a Jew. If so, then why are you allowed to buy from a Goy animal? Because Goy, when he has his own animal, he's careful not to sleep with his animal. Why? Because if he sleeps with his animal will never have babies anymore, but he doesn't want it. He wants his animal to have babies. Why? Because that's his business. He doesn't want to hurt his business. So therefore, you're allowed to buy animal from a Goy. So let's go further. Jewish nation were never chashut on animals. And also Ran in Gemara Shabbat says, I saw this Ran close to 15 years ago, maybe more a little bit. Ran says, why you're not allowed to write Sefer Torah on the skin of a fish? You know, there are some fish have thick skin, thicker than a cow. So why are you allowed to write Sefer Torah on the cow skin, on the deer, sheep, goat skins, but not fish? Why not? You're allowed to eat fish. Mina mutar b'ficha. You're allowed to eat this type of family of fish. Yeah, what's the problem? Why not? Gemara says, Ran says, because when by Har Sinai, all the people, Klal Israel, and all the animals came to get pured from the dirt of Chava, fish cannot come, because fish has to be in the river, in the ocean. They couldn't come, so therefore their tum'ah remained. Therefore, Ran says approve. If you take a chicken in a garbage 3 days and a fish in a garbage 3 days, fish will stink worse than chicken does. Why? Because it says Zohama. Next, Im kol zeh katav bala Tosfot Yom Tov beresh perek dalet dezavim, and Tosfot Yom Tov quotes from the beginning of the chapter of Zavim. The Gedol Israel hayu machmirim al atzmam shelo yir'eh lavak be'ain sham. Big rabbis, they would be careful to make sure that a young guy who's not married, he should not be shepherd. He should not watch over animals. Va'asilsul hazeh lo haya ela lechavod hamakom kedamlinan b'Shabbat. And these quarrels that he made in his hair, like round curls. Sorry. And these curls in the hair, thank you. Sorry. Tzaddik. Thank you. So these curls that he made on his hair, that was only for Kvod Shamayim. He did it for Hashem. Shabbat. It says in Gemara Shabbat, page 50b, Rochetz Adam Panav. A person should wash his face and take care of his body and do curls לכבוד המקום. For the sake of Hashem, for the honor of Hashem. ואם בשביל ליפות עצמו אסור. But if it does for personal beauty, that is forbidden. And we have one more side left. It's gonna take 10 more minutes, but guys, we begin from the Nazir. Then we said Shimon HaTzadik said there are many type of Nazirim I don't agree with. Why? Because they want to forbid things that I'm not happy about. Because it's not good to forbid things that Hashem permitted you. Some people just be machmir on something, they don't know what they're machmir for. All the halachot in the world hold that they're allowed to have benefit, and here they say, I want to be machmir. Good luck. Hashem gave permission, you want to forbid it. I don't know who gave you permission to forbid stuff on you. Because Shimon HaTzadik was not happy about it. Said, you are Nazir, who gave permission to be Nazir. I'm not happy about this. Therefore, I don't want to eat from your asham, from your sin offering. Guilt offering, sorry. And this guy, when he said, I heard my shadow talk to me, he said, now I had to speak about to come down my shadow. And then Shimon HaTzadik kissed him and said, from you I'll eat. Why? Because you're a real guy. You're a real guy that you became Nazir L'Shem Shamayim. So now the question was, why he had these curls? The answer is he just had it for beauty, maybe. Maybe he did for beauty for Hashem's name. Because Gemara in Shabbat, page 50b says what? If you make curls for get beauty for Hashem, that's what the importance. Like Moshe Feinstein, just 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago, he had students, many students, and he said, listen, you're Ben Torah, you're a religious Jew, you gotta dress normally in the street. You gotta walk presentable. Some people don't say, this religious guy, look how they dress, look how they act, look how they behave. So you gotta be beautiful inside and beautiful outside. Do not make Chilul Hashem. Now let's go further. V'omar, and he said, Lo hayiti be'iri. I was a shepherd in my city. The Hainu, Darom, in the south. Shesham hayu chachamim gedolim ve'tzadikim. Why is mentioned south? Because south is like Borough Park, like Williamsburg, like Bnei Barak. He said, I'm coming from the place where there's a lot of big rabbis there. Lakewood, okay? He said, I'm from south. Kedamrinan. It says in Gemara Tamid, page 31b. 31, Hashem's name, right? Ziknei HaNegev. What is that? The elders of the Negev. Ufi she'adam hazeh hirgish ba'atzmo she'al snei devarim pachaz yitzru alav. Since he realized, because of two things, his Yetzer Hara got awakened in him. What are the two things? Achat al yofi se'aro. One is because he had beautiful hair. V'achat al yofi einav v'tov mar'ito. And second beauty because he had beautiful eyes and beautiful appearance. Lachen k'neged ha'se'ar amar. Therefore he said to himself, to his shadow, two things. To the hair, he said, Lama ata mitgae ba'olam she'eno shelcha. Why are you showing off in the world that doesn't belong to you? Shelemachar ani yachol legaleach otcha. Because tomorrow I could cut you off, give a haircut, finished. Ukeneged yofi panav. But for beauty of his face, what did he say? He said something already not in this world. What did he say? Oh, you showing off. Tomorrow you'll become a worms. You'll become worms tomorrow. Ha'avodah she'agalecha chala shamayim. Ha'avodah means like I swear. He said, I will cut you for Hashem's name. Hitgalachat k'dei la'asir ha'se'ar l'shamayim. In order to take his haircut for the sake of Hashem. L'shem shamayim. For the sake of Hashem. I'm driving in a car. L'shem shamayim. I'm answering the phone. L'shem shamayim. I'm eating. L'shem shamayim. For Hashem's name. I'm sleeping for Hashem's name. I laugh for Hashem's name. I cry for Hashem's name. I give advice for Hashem's name. I walk for Hashem's name. I play basketball for Hashem's name in order for me to be healthy. This is how Jews should think. Every time you think something, stop. Yeah, I won't like this. I. Who is I? Hashem knows. I won't like this by 1 second. Why? For me or for Hashem? That is the big question. And when you have the answer to this question, you're the most successful person in life. Why? Because when you make Hashem happy, you give strength. It says, to nu oz lelokim, you give strength to Hashem, you are a strong guy. You get strong yourself. Okay. כדי שישמרני מעצר רע על יופי עיניי. He said, what do you think about yourself? And number two, he said, after 120 you'll become worms. So I said it. Why? And I'm giving haircut for the sake of Hashem. Why? So he should protect me from Yetzer Hara, because of beauty of my eyes. Now let's go to the next piece. In 6 minutes, Be'ezrat Hashem, we are over. We are closed. Next Zera Shimshon in a week. But let's get strength for this week. Let's play strong. That tomorrow, the whole America should say, guys, go back to your synagogue. Stay up till the morning. Shavuot. Be'ezrat Hashem. Come on. Let's get together. We can do that. We can do that. If we pass these 2 months, that's all. It's all gone already, guys. Next week, maximum 10 days, you're going to go back to your works. You're going to go back to your works. No more staying home, guys. You're going to go to work. But you know what? A day will come, you'll say, wow, I did not appreciate time I was sitting with my wife and the kids by the table. I did not appreciate time when the street was quiet. When there were no cars, no planes. It was really relaxation for 2 months. You're going to miss this. I mean, not the stuff that people got sick, but you're going to miss the quiet peace. Because the whole New York will be balagan. Noise. But you know what? We should get to works healthy, happy, and have only good occasions. Let's go. Miyad amadti. Right away, Shimon HaTzadik said, I got up. And I said, Yirbu, kamotcha yirbu nozrei nezirut be'Israel. Like you should be Nazirim for Jewish nation. V'kosher. Difficult. Zera Shimshon is asking, Ma'u kamotcha, like you. V'chim lo yu kamo, lo yu yicholim la'azir. What if they're not like him, they cannot be Nazir? Ela mishum Rabbi Elazar HaKafar sevir leh. He held like Rabbi Elazar HaKafar. It says Gemara Nazir, page 19a. Demi shemazir atzmo min hayayin nikra chote. Rabbi Elazar HaKafar says, if you are permitted to drink wine and you say, I'm never going to drink wine, chote, sinner. Who gave you permission to forbid something that Hashem said you're allowed? We're talking about if a person makes himself Nazir regarding Chasidut. He says, I want to be Chasid, I want to be pious, I want to be too religious, very religious. I mean, Chasidut has limits. But if you start forbidding stuff that you're allowed, it says, Kadesh atzmecha bemutar lach. Make yourself holy with something that you are permitted to. You want to drink wine? Drink. Half shot, 1 shot, done. Once you drink the whole cup, it's a mistake. But if you want to say, I'm never going to drink again wine, also a mistake. Who said for you to do that? Some people say, I will never eat fruits and vegetables anymore. Stop. Who said that? Who gave permission to? I will never eat ice cream 1 week. Who said? It's a sin. It's avera. Why avera? Hashem said you're allowed. Who are you to forbid? I understand if there's a kashrut problems, but if not, why would you forbid? Who gave you permission to do that? It's asur. Or vice versa, other way. Those who are married. He says, I'm forbidden 1 month to touch my wife. Excuse me. Who said for you to do that? It's asur. You have a mitzvah, you have obligation. As every simple Jew, to obligation to fulfill your ketubah needs, your obligation that you promised. And that is very important. But if he's forced to do that, if it Yetzer Hara bothering him, he wants to save himself from Yetzer Hara, that's obvious. Here, even Rabbi Elazar HaKafar holds he's allowed to do that. שאתה עשית כדי להחליש כוח יצרך. So I said, like you should be many because you did it to break down your יצר. ומעתה לא יהיה לו עוד כוח להתגבר עליך. Now from now on, you beat up your יצר הרע. יצר הרע is no power to go against you. עד שתתחרט, until you will retract, until you will feel bad that what you got the mitzvah. Why? Because שהבא להיטהר מסייעין אותו. When a person wants to get purified, they help him from Shamayim. What if he says, I don't want to be pure anymore? That's all done. Then he goes back to his sins. Chas v'shalom. 2 more minutes. Let's count. Who's counting? 120 seconds. Let's go. Guys, I want to take a moment and say thank you to all of you. You got all together to learn the Holy Torah. I'll tell you, I love learning all the books in the world. Any book has to do with Torah, I love. But Zera Shimshon gives me always energy. Because as we learned 2 weeks ago with the number 70, on the 70th day, they say what? You're allowed to go gathering 10 people in the shuls. Guys, it's a big thing. Don't think it's a joke. If you 100% know the Torah is ran, the world is ran by Torah, we'll never have pandemics. The problem is we sometimes don't believe in Torah. We don't believe that life goes only the way Torah wants, the way Torah says. Once we have that, that's all. Now you'll ask me a question, why so many rabbis passed away? Don't ask me this question. I'll tell you something that I'm upset myself, but I'll tell you. "12 years ago, my father was invited to Yeshua. But I'll say it, you close it here, okay? I'm not gonna... I don't want it to be spread. My father was invited to Yeshua. And the guy told my father, come to Yeshua, and I'll put the video. You'll tell me all my generation names, and the whole biography of my 5 generations. You'll tell me, I'll make you happy. To my father, my father's happy. Oh wow, okay, we'll go to Yeshua in a week, whatever. A day before he calls my father. And he says, Mr. Leo, I'm sorry, there's a certain young person, he's a rabbi right now, and we want him to lead the Yeshua. And he said to us, if you call me, you cannot call other rabbi. If you call other rabbi, I'll leave, I'm not going to come. So we want to let you know, we want that guy to come and not you. My father said, listen, biography I know about your father, 5 generations. That guy doesn't know. Nobody knows. Because my father had special photographic memory and special history given to him from generation to generation that he heard from elders. Nobody knew this. And when he would say and he would connect, people knew the connection. They would, wow, what are you saying? For 5 generations. And what happened in the end? That night, my father came from Yeshua. Few days later, my father went to different Yeshua right away. My father was a very busy person. People needed him. Few days later, my father told me, I feel people not appreciating me in the community. They told me not to come to Yeshua. Usually it never happened in history. People used to fight for me to come to Yeshua's. And here, somebody tells me, this young guy said, if you come, I'm not going to come, like politician business. My father said, I feel community doesn't appreciate me. I hope it's not going to touch my health, because I know in the world when someone doesn't appreciate something, he loses it. Month did not pass how my father passed away in his sleep. Then people start crying. That person start crying. I was stupid. I didn't get my biography. I thought he's going to live 20 more years and this and that. Guys, you understood the answer, right? We lost many rabbis because we did not appreciate before this coronavirus how important to have a rabbi. We did not appreciate how important to follow the path of Torah. We didn't appreciate, and this is why So many rabbis died. Do you know each rabbi better than the other one? If you put all together how many rabbis died and you count how many books they wrote, it will be more than 1,000 books. Because some of them were genius. Not some, 90% of these rabbis. So the question is, why so much Torah were lost? If Hashem would keep them one more year, 1,000 books would come out. Why we lost all this? It's something to think about. When someone calls you and tells you, Rabbi, what's the halacha in this case? You tell him halacha after knowing who is this guy and after knowing what the halacha says regarding this guy. Then he tells you 30 minutes later, he says, oh, but you know what? This rabbi said like that, so I'm going to go like that. The question like that, then you ask him a question, stop. I don't mind, go to 10 rabbis. But the question is, that rabbi knows you, who you are, knows your family, who you come from, where do you come from? He is just from somewhere. He doesn't know you. The person who knows you gave you halacha. And you go follow that person. And I don't want to say who's right, who's wrong. That's not important. The point is, when you have one solid rabbi that you follow, you're a successful person. You don't need to follow any rabbi by force. You have to choose your rabbi. Go to any rabbi. There's a billion rabbis there. But when he says right, even though you think it's left, you go right. He says milk is black. You follow it, then you show respect to the Torah, not to this rabbi. No, you respect Torah, you respect Hashem. You say, Hashem, your Torah says milk is black, I follow it. That is the respect of Hashem. That is the respect of Torah. When you do that, that rabbi is protected. This is very important. This is very important. Very important point. Hashem should help us to grow and learn in Torah. I want to go one more minute and we'll finish with this. But I want to tell you one thing. You have no idea how much our communities, I'm not going to say the Bukhari community, all the communities, have chesed, have derech to the rabbis. You know, it's open fact. The pandemic is not Chinese, not Italian, it's all from Hashem. Hashem has his own plans. Nobody will understand this, never. But our job is to work on ourselves, to love everybody. It's not easy. It's not easy. Forgive everybody. It's not easy. But you do it. Why? Because this is exactly what keeps you and me and everyone alive. Love everyone. Care about everyone. Care, not to show that you care about him. Care about him. That you should know you care about him. Hashem knows that you mean well. You mean 100%. Not, it looks like you mean it. You do it because you do it. Because you know 100%. And you have that love 100%. Only this is the true love. When you do something for show, believe me, Hashem knows it. Hashem knows better than anybody. And that will save us from everything. But Baruch Hashem, I have so many good news today. They said, Rabbi, so many hospitals. We went, somebody's grandmother, Nekadam Bat Sarah, she was sick, she wanted to be, they took her to the hospital. They went to one hospital, they said, no, we don't like it, but it was empty. Not even one COVID patient. They went to second hospital, empty. They went to third hospital, fourth hospital. 4 or 5 hospitals they went to, empty, not even one COVID patient. Eventually, they went to Connecticut and they released her after 3 hours. They gave 2-3 shots and they released her. They said she's fine, take her home. But Baruch Hashem said, I went to 4 hospitals, not even one COVID-19 patient. This is good news. Hashem taking away Zera. Hashem should take away Zera from Brazil. A lot of our brothers are there. Hashem should do only Besorot Tovot to everyone and should never return again to this world. Last piece, and I'll let you go, brothers. Let's go. Inami. If so, Kach Pirusho. This is what Shimon HaTzadik meant to this guy. Kamotcha. Kelomar. Kol mi sheyena'eh. Kamotcha mitzvah alav la'asot ken. Whoever wants to become Nazir like you, mean it to break down Yetzer Hara, a lot should be like you. ואם יהיו רבים כמותך יהיו רצון שילבו נמי נוזלי נזילות בישראל כדי להציל עצמם מן החטא. So if they're like you, have intentions like you, pure intention, so they should be taking on themselves Nazilut, to be Nazir, in order to protect themselves from sin. וסיים דבריו ואמר עליך. And in the end of his words he said, עליך אמר קרוא, regarding you the pasuk says, איש כי יפליל לנדור נדר. So Shimon HaTzadik says, regarding you, people like you especially, the pasuk says, a person who specified to take on themselves, yafli means yafli sefatayim. A person should specify when he wants to vow, when he wants to make a neder. He has to specify. Lindor neder. Why it says double language? To do the vow. To vow a vow. Okay? Why double language? Nazir la azir. To become Nazir for Nazirut for Hashem. Why lindor neder lazir lazir double? Because v'chi alav levado ne'emar hakra hazeh. What the pasuk talks about him, talks about people like him. Many Nazirim like this. Ela lefi shepachaz yitro al adam zeh. But because he had Yetzer Hara on him, raised up, bishvil shnei devarim, because of two things. What was that? His beautiful hair and his beautiful appearance with his beautiful eyes. Two things. Kanal va'pasuk shel ish ki yafli ne'emar belashon kaful. Therefore, pasuk talks about double language. Lindor neder ve'od nazir lazil mishum hachi amar lo alecha ne'emar hamikra hazeh. Therefore, Shimon HaTzadik said, regarding you the pasuk says, in double language. Double because a person like you who saw two problems in himself. Number one, beautiful hair. Number two, beautiful face and beautiful eyes. Because of you, double, Torah says double language. But let's stop for a second. Do you know, anytime we read the Parsha talks to us. Anytime you learn Torah, Torah talks to us directly. This week we read, actually last week, not this past Shabbat, last Shabbat, before this, in Parashat Bechukotai, we read 49 verses. Why? Because Shavuot considered New Year. Shavuot is New Year, new beginning. Hashem says, Tichle shana v'kiloloteha, tachel shana v'bilchoteha. Let that year go away with its curses, and this year begin with all blessings. Be'ezrat Hashem, we should have besorot tovot, only atzlacha rabba, good news to everyone. We should hear only good news from you, from your entire family. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen v'amen.